Hello everyone, this is day 2 of the E3 coverage. Yesterday we had Microsoft, we had Bethesda and we had Devolver. Now, my ratings of these press conferences, well, first of Devolver I don't rate anything because they are just entertaining more so than anything. The actual announcements they have are not that substantial. But when it comes to Bethesda, my initial gut feeling right after the presentation was I think I gave a B. I would lower that to a C plus now. Mainly because while they did do the right things in a lot of ways, for instance addressing the Fallout 76 stuff first and owning up to mistakes and fixing that and putting NPCs in that, they don't really deserve too much praise for it because that's how it should be in the first place. And then in a lot of other places in the conference, like they were just celebrating the fact that they have dragons in ESO now. The fact that they put dragons in an Elder Scrolls game shouldn't be something to be celebrated. It should be something to be expected. So in a lot of ways, they retreaded ground that they've covered before. And that lowered the grade substantially. However, Ghostwire Tokyo with the cute Japanese lady was definitely a highlight. Doom is just as amazing as it was when I was in the moment. And also Deathloop looked interesting, even though we didn't really see too much gameplay of that. So there were some highlights in there that I would say make it still better than I expected it to be, but not by that much. So I think a C plus is fair. As for the Microsoft conference, I initially gave an A minus, mainly because of the Cyberpunk stuff with Keanu Reeves, which of course still is a highlight. Spiritfarer. In general, we saw a lot of great art styles there. That just kind of caught me a bit. I was into that, I will admit. The Lego stuff I could take or leave, but I'll admit that the Lego car stuff was kind of cool. I expected like realistic car game number 476, but instead we got a surprise, which I greatly appreciate. Then of course the gear stuff, which was alright, but they should have done more with that, I think. And in general, there was a lack of actually showing gameplay throughout the entire thing. So I will also lower that grade to a B, a solid B. It was still a good one, but it wasn't as phenomenal as I initially said it was, just caught up in the hype. So that's a normal thing though. When I'm in the moment, I tend to rate stuff a bit higher than once I come down from the hype. And I'm pretty much always rethinking what I'm awarding to certain like wrestling events or press conference or whatever it is. Right after it's done, I'm probably gonna give it a higher grade than what my final grade is actually gonna be. And that's just how it is. As for the schedule of today though, we're gonna have a packed one because there's 5 conferences today, which are very much one after another. So I will not have a lot of time to really talk about what happened in the conference before the next one starts. I'm going to do that during the ending sizzle reel, I guess, and then move on to the next one. We're going to start with the PC Gaming Show, which is starting up in about 25 to 30 minutes. That one is going to go for about 2 hours. They have a history of going a bit longer, which would be bad for limited run games, which are immediately after. And they already said that they're going to showcase 50 games. Now, limited run don't do anything themselves. They basically make physical copies of digital games, and that's their business model. So they're not going to show anything mind-blowing or new. They're just going to showcase a lot of indie games, which is still a good opportunity to remind yourself of cool indie games that you've missed. So that's why I'm looking forward to covering Limited Run. They only have 1 hour though to showcase 50 games, which seems like a very steep time slot to fill. And after that is Ubisoft. So whether or not Limited Run Games gets done with their press conference, I'm having to switch over to Ubisoft once they start. That's going to be cool. And then after Ubisoft there's AMD, which I'm just going to cover because between Ubisoft and Square Enix there's a bit of a longer gap, and AMD just happened to land in that gap. So I might as well just do it if I can, because this gives me the chance of having like one long stream as opposed to a broken up one. So I'm going to cover AMD, even though hardware is way out of my expertise. I probably won't have anything good or interesting to add to that. But it's there, and I might as well cover it just to see what the big announcement is. Maybe I can take away something from that. It's not that I'm completely hopeless when it comes to hardware, but I'm really out of my waters in that regard. And then last is Square Enix. So because all of those are right after another, I guess I should just say what I'm expecting to a bunch of them, because I don't have time to really speak to that after the PC Gaming Show starts. So from the PC Gaming Show, I'm pretty much expecting the same thing they did last year. Before last year, they had like a talk show thing, which was kind of unique but also overran quite a bit. So they switched it to a more traditional presentation, which I have no doubt will be again moderated by Day9, who is always doing a great job. And then they're gonna have Frankie there as well again, who is Frankie what I think her name is? Get Frank on Twitter, at Get Frank. She is amazing, and last year that chat was pretty thirsty about her. If my cousin is there by the time the show starts, then I'll have him have a look at the chat. He is not here yet, and he isn't online, so maybe he's still asleep. He was really tired yesterday, so I wouldn't blame him. But yeah, I'm pretty much expecting the same thing. The big thing with the PC Gaming Show though this year is going to be how many of the games that are announced there will be Epic Store exclusive. Because the Epic Store is snatching up exclusives left and right throughout the entire year so far. And they're angering a lot of fans this way. Now, so far it has been proven to be very profitable for the people that take those exclusivity deals. The numbers that I've seen so far on that, I don't remember them outright, but the takeaway I had from it is that because there is less competition on the platform itself, it's less overcrowded, there's less crap there, you do get a higher reach of people on this. So far they have gotten really good returns from it, but at this point, and that's the counter thing, at this point announcing Epic Store exclusivity is a big damper. Like, financially maybe it's still worth it, but it's coupled with bad PR at this point. Whenever something gets announced as an Epic Store exclusive, people just lose their shit, and there are downvotes and everything. It's incredible. So I'm not sure how many we will see. We're probably gonna see a few, where the game looks great and then you don't see the Steam logo there, just the Epic logo, and then people are going to lose their shit over that. It's going to be unpleasant. But I hope that at least the games are just timed exclusives, not permanent exclusives. Pretty sure announcing a permanent Epic Store exclusive at this stage will be pretty much suicide. You can get away with a timed exclusive, even though it's still not a great move PR wise. What else? I do think that we're going to see a follow-up on Hades, the new Supergiant game. We're gonna probably see a bunch of simulator games as well, because they always have a big footing in the PC market, regardless of whether or not the people that are actually watching the conference are into them or not. We're probably gonna hear another little thing about the Age of Empires remake. outside of that, I'm not sure what they would feature on the PC gaming show. There's gonna be a bunch of indie games for sure, but you know. The bigger question this year is not what is going to be there, but what of the stuff that's going to be there will be Epic Store exclusive. So that's the big elephant in the room. And I hope they address that fairly early on, just like Bethesda did. And that's pretty much all. They're gonna just trot out some indie devs, let them talk for a bit. But that's also the thing that makes them overrun all the time. Day 9 does a good job of keeping the show along though, so I'm sure it's going to be fine. And then limited run, it's hard to say what they will actually showcase. Like I said, they don't do anything specific outside of taking digital games and making physical copies of it. So predicting what kind of games they will go for is like shooting into the dark. I'm not going to make too many predictions of that. What I would be interested to see, however, is if they're gonna keep up the same presentation style they had last year with the very flat people and this very like lacklustery digital stage that was just really funny. The presentation was better than the actual announcements they had, in a similar vein to Devolver and last year also Tiny Build. Even though Devolver, of course, is a step above them because at this point they are an E3 staple. That is going into a couple of movies next time. So for those that didn't see it, Devolver did basically a Nintendo Direct spoof, Devolver Direct, which was just as insane as you would expect it to be. And then they ended it on like a Terminator-esque ending, which last year they did a Robocop-like ending, but now they're going for Terminator. Given that this whole Direct thing is playing in Nina Strada's mind, I wouldn't be surprised to see it next year be in some sort of Inception-style presentation, maybe. That would be cool. And they have like an outright villain now, which is interesting. But yeah, limited run has nothing like that. They just have a really quirky presentation style. At least they had last year. Would be interesting to see if they stick with that or if they try something else. They're probably gonna still do like a video presentation though. I'm certain that they're not gonna get an actual stage. Ubisoft are going to probably start out with the Just Dance thing again. Again, I would be interested to see if they bring out Aisha Tyler. However, they didn't last year where I was expecting them to, so maybe not. They're still gonna go for a bit of Cringe. They're going to be the Trials guys probably. Maybe we're gonna see something Rabbids related again. We're probably going to see an Assassin's Creed game. An update for The Division. Something Rainbow Six related. Maybe they're gonna go into the esports thing again. This year esports has been a very low-key thing because mostly EA always did an esports kind of had an esports kind of part, but they didn't have a presentation this year, so maybe Ubisoft will be the only ones to actually address esports. Although we could see an esports thing in the PC gaming show as well. But yeah, Ubisoft is going to be pretty fun. Maybe they're gonna keep it a bit more straight. If I remember correctly, they did have some Cringe, like the Miyamoto stuff with the arm cannons. But for the most part, they kept it fairly straight last year. They had some quirky things in there, but it was a more toned down compared to the years before. So I think that's gonna be what we can expect. Then the AMD thing, I have absolutely no clue. Like I said, I'm completely hopeless, or not completely hopeless, but I'm not very well versed in the hardware section, and I haven't seen an AMD presentation so far. I know last year there was something akin to that, but I didn't watch it at all. So I had actually no idea what to expect from AMD. Some of the hardware magazines I looked into are very excited about that one, which strengthens my resolve to at least cover it. And then Square Enix, I hope will be better than last year. Last year Square Enix had, next to EA, one of the weakest presentations. Just a 30-minute video package with not a lot of substantial stuff outside of Babylon's Fall and The Dragon Quest stuff was alright. But you know, it's kind of. I'm sure that after like the slew of stuff, we can fill the gap between AMD and Square Enix quite well. Even because I'm not sure how long the AMD presentation is going to be. I don't know how long the gap is going to be. I actually can probably look that up. So AMD is scheduled to start at midnight my time, going into the Square Enix presentation at 3 AM my time. So there's a 3-hour gap. Which means that I'm probably gonna have like a lot of time to talk about all the conferences that came before. Then probably have like a short break. And then come back with Square Enix. Then I'm going to go to sleep. Probably at like 4 or 5 AM. So about the same time as last time. And then 18... so like 6 PM my time, Nintendo Direct starts. The podcast is happening at 1:30 my time, so I have time to watch Nintendo, and before that or after that do the EA stuff as well. So that's going to be tomorrow's stream. Hey Tink! You haven't been here for a while now, have you? How are you? Hope your school is going good. Although, by this time, aren't you done with school now? You haven't been anywhere for a while, I noticed. I'm doing alright. E3 coverage is fun so far. I'm going to be interested to see what's happening in AMD, mainly because I've never watched anything AMD related and I'm completely hopeless with hardware. So it's going to be interesting for me to cover, I think. Also, we have like 5 conferences back to back today, so it's going to be packed. It's going to be a packed stream. Health-wise, I'm doing great. And I just, like, a couple days ago we had a family day, so we went play mini golf in like little groups. I won in my group with 44 total hits, whereas everyone else was in the 50s to 60s, and I made it into the top 3 of all of my family that day. So that was good. I'm not the best at mini golf, but making top 3 was quite the achievement, I think. Also, the entirety of yesterday, my shoulder hurt from just holding the, you know. It's a weird movement if you're not used to play mini golf. It was one of those fancy mini golf places as well, where they had like black lights and 3D paintings on like the walls and the actual tracks. So it was really cool. Especially because my grandparents were in my team. So I had like myself and my cousin about the same age, and then my grandparents. It was a very interesting dynamic. And then afterwards we had like a big barbecue with everyone, and a lot of alcohol was had. And then I came back, I got up, and then it was pretty much time to start the stream for the Microsoft conference. And later on my cousin is going to join in here as well. He's eating right now. Probably is going to join in when the Ubisoft conference rolls around. Although maybe earlier, now that he's aware that there's something. He just completely forgot about the PC gaming show. And I guess by extension limited run games, because they are right after. With PC gaming, there's not a lot I would like outright say I'm excited for. I'm sure they're gonna pull out something, like probably like a real-time strategy game or something, where I'm like, ooh. Maybe they have something about Warcraft Classic. That's gonna be a PC mainstay. So if they have something about WoW Classic, then I'm sure Ninjian, who is also, by the way, co-streaming this event, he hasn't gone live yet, I don't think. But if they have something along those lines, then he's going to be very excited, I'm pretty sure. Actually, he is not even online right now. Did he also forget about the PC gaming show? Maybe he has a different priority set when it comes to actually covering E3. I already said that I'm going to cover as much as possible. Maybe he just wants to cover the big ones. And I've already pulled up the Twitch of Limited Run Games because I'm sure I have to switch really quickly. I'm prepared today, I tell you. I'm going to completely nail this. I checked out the Devolver stuff that they mentioned during their stream. As in the fact that they actually put up a bootleg collection of their own games that you can buy on Steam. Pretty much like Edmund McMillan's Basement collection, just that they had badly made versions of their own games. Which is a great idea. And the fact that they actually make an arcade game for 2020 is just insane. I love it. I would have loved some Monster energy drinks for this, but I couldn't find any in the small shop that I went to. So I'm having Rockstar instead. 2 minutes. Now they have Ezekiel sitting there, who was on the Drop Frames podcast panel thingy that they had yesterday. Yeah, Frankie Ward, I got her name right. Say something? Alright.
Hello.
Hi. You're right on air. Just as the PC Gaming Show starts, you're here. Perfect. So they're immediately announcing what they're gonna have there. Ah yeah, Warframe, I completely forgot about that. And more. Can you keep an eye on the stream chat from them just to see what they say about Frankie?
Hopefully I can. Just need, I depends on how the stream works, frame wise.
Frankie has a more normal outfit this year. Epic Games is actually a sponsor of them this year. That's foreboding.
Come on, Twitch, load faster.
Hey! It's the man-eater.
For you guys at home, for the first time, whatever platform you're watching on, we are going to be pulling your clever comments. Just remember that.
Yeah, the Twitch chat goes nuts. Frankie on PC.
Throughout the show, making him famous on the internet, on the screen. We're going to be sharing them live. And one of the things we're especially looking for are your questions for the Borderlands 3 team, because Sean, you've got a mission to put their questions to the developers.
That's right. Midway through this show, I'm going to be asking those questions to the creative director of.
So at 9 p.m. our time, Limited Run Games is starting. So I'm interested to see if they can keep it in that 2-hour slot they have.
From UK developer Rebellion. Several years ago, they announced that they were working on the follow-up to Evil Genius, a real-time evil layer simulator.
And now, Rebellion is ready to reveal its nefarious vision for the project. So, PC Gaming Show, who's ready to stroke a cat menacingly? Here is the world is
Frankie has not changed her presentation style one bit compared to last year. Alright, we're using the word exclusive again. And they even use world exclusive again, which is a nonsense term. This is exclusive to our world. You can get it in no other world.
Yeah, the two people on Mars are fucked.
Yeah. This looks really quirky. And again, like a cartoon shader on this. Even though it's less pronounced this time. The faces kind of look Pixar-esque. Those flips are not natural, and that was a man-eater. Evil Genius 2, this looks quirky.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is the
On
successor
Steam.
to one of the most
Mhm.
beloved RPGs ever. And with me to talk about it, I have Brian Mitsoder and Cara Elephant from Tab. Now, Brian, you were a writer on the very first day.
Check out those gloves on this dude.
To finally get to work on the sequel.
It means that a lot of people have very high expectations of meet us.
Well, let's take a look at whether you are going to meet them, because we are going to take a look at the world's first gameplay footage.
They show gameplay. That's gonna get them over Microsoft.
Guess I have to be the one to tell you. You're dead.
That's a good line.
You're obviously new to this whole existence, but truth is, most of you types won't even make it a whole year. We have one rule. You don't break the masquerade.
World class lip syncing there. Feed your power.
See. We're all fighting over scraps. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your death. Have fun.
First day on the rest of your death. Vampire the Masquerade. Bloodlines 2. That was not quite the gameplay that I was hoping for.
What does it mean to be a vampire in this world?
So in what it is, it's kind of a darker version of our world, and the vampires.
He is not used to public speaking, I can tell that right away.
From humanity, so the vampires are kind of staying hidden in the shadows, while also needing to feed on human beings and kind of manipulating us in order to get blood.
We're talking about feeding on human beings. I'm getting flashbacks to last year's show. Cara, it's not just a case though.
You can vote on stuff.
Filling up your health meter, is it actually different types of blood do different things?
That's right. So we have the resonance system, which means that essentially vampires can kind of like
Oh.
see the emotional resonance between beings, like fear or desire, and then they can feed on those people to like feel the same things as human beings and feel more alive, and that can give you like extra boost.
So they do use the ideas of vampire.
As well. What kind of relationships are we going to be forming with them as a player?
Well, very
Just with a less
child,
personal
very
attachment to the
volatile
characters.
relationships, very mature relationships, so it's going to be a fun time.
And one thing that was really intriguing for me when I was learning about this game is you don't just get bitten and turn into Nosferatu, Dracula, or Brad Pitt. And to be honest, I think you should maybe pick that if this is the case, because then I'm definitely playing it. You actually have to adjust to your environment to becoming a vampire, is that right?
That's right. So essentially, in the game, when we were made as a vampire, sort of a very young vampire, a lot of other vampires are made at the same time, and this thing called the natural race, and that means that essentially they're having a less lucky time than you in the world. You're having a relatively good time because that they don't know.
Okay, so the player is special, got it. It's just like every video game ever.
You might have a family, you might have, say, a wife and
I mean, to be fair, role-playing as a vampire is a good idea for a game. It always was. It's just that there are a lot of games that didn't really go all out with it. So if this can be that, I guess it's a win.
Yeah, tons of fish. But yeah, we're gonna make it work.
Well, you know what? I think there are people around the world watching this, and of course the audience here. And they
Yeah, I had to switch over to the IGN YouTube stream because Twitch just couldn't keep up with
So I think you convinced everyone in
Alright, got
the
it.
stream.
play the game.
We're going Q1 next year.
Fantastic. When can we learn more?
Bloodline2.com.
Thank you so much.
Oh god, this is awkward.
Give it up, guys.
I mean, I guess they both fit into the nervous little indie dev stereotype that I like. So they kind of weirdly playing off of Frankie's jokes.
A desperate attempt to find refuge among the stars. Your task is to manage a colony capable of sustaining life, crafting components, controlling colonists, and sending out crews to mine asteroids. But when you're living in space, there can be big consequences to even the smallest mistakes. Let's take a look at the brand new gameplay for SoWasWieEinFan.
Now we're talking. Chucklefish. Hell yeah. Grow your colony. So this is basically what was the name of the Rocket Beans pen and paper again? Project.
Yeah,
Because the setting reminds me pretty much of that. Project Pylos or something?
Pylos, yeah.
Pilus. Project Pilus. Where also the player characters were grown humans that live on like that discover that they were made to live on a station. So this is pretty much the same thing. You grow your colony. And maybe even the inhabitants of that. But this strikes me as like something like faster than light, but as a space station rather than like an actual ship. Which is cool. And again, on Steam.
Our next guests both started as modders, and now they each independently run their own studio. Let's welcome to the stage from Tripwire, John Gibson, and from Torn Banner, Steve Piggott. Hey,
Cool, two modders that are actually running a studio now.
now I understand. So you started as modders, working independently, and running your own studio. What about the collaboration that you started together?
Yes, Steve. So we've known the Torn Banner guys for a long time, even giving them some advice when they were modders, going commercial, helping them not make the mistakes that we made. And we've been friends, and we've always wanted to work together. And now we've sort of formed this independent, former mod team, professional super group to get an awesome game out to fans. Yeah, for us it's a dream partnership as well. We've always been really close with Tripwire, and we really respect their games. We see them as one of the few studios that's bringing true innovation to the FPS genre.
Oh, FPS?
So let's take a look at this upcoming collaboration between Torn Banner and Tripwire.
A studio collaboration. That's also nothing that happens too much, actually. I mean, a true collaboration, not like this studio publishes under that studio. Okay, I see knights. This reminds me of Chivalry.
Yeah, or Mortal, if you
Yeah, I've seen that one as well.
take the modern example.
Hmm. Yeah, Chivalry is the one I own, so.
Yeah. I think Mortal is from the Chivalry developer, so
Yeah. Oh, it is Chivalry. Looks great. The fact that you can just hack a dude's arm off I like. Aw. That dude was fucked.
Talk to me about Chivalry 2, Steve.
Well, Chivalry 2 is about bringing players into their favorite medieval movie battle scene. And our flagship game mode, Team Objective, does that by having players complete medieval objectives like sieging castles, raiding villages, and
Raping children.
yeah, you're not just
You know what the knights did
standing in an area
back in the Middle
with
Ages.
bars built up. You're, like you said, burning houses, killing peasants,
Burning witches.
playing as peasants, getting killed. It's really about letting the player experience every iconic moment of the era. And on top of that, we've this time around we've increased the player count scale to about 2.5 times what the previous game was, 64 players. And on top of that, increased.
It's an interesting idea of having people vote on stuff of the games that are presented.
Experiences like the Battle of the Bastards from Game of Thrones.
Don't worry, we'll ignore the last season. Just Battle of the Bastards is going to be in the game.
Yeah.
All right, I want to ask about the swordplay element to Chivalry 2. I mean, I know it's a really critical element.
Yeah, and this time around we've completely revamped. I mean, we really do what we're doing here is bringing a true sequel in every sense.
Yeah.
We've attempted to completely revamp the combat, movement, and animation systems so that every swing, every action of the combat feels readable and fair, and also has the satisfaction
That's important.
and the weight that you would expect when two medieval knights in full armor are clashing.
Yeah, and it's
So basically they take inspiration from the For Honor battle system.
The previous game, and it's the pace is so much quicker. It's what I really enjoy when I'm playing.
I wanted to
It's not the same thing,
because in a lot of
but
combat games, you hit
integrating the good parts about the For Honor battle system into what we already had in Chivalry seems like a good idea to me.
operates differently.
Yeah, and the For Honor battle system was good,
Kind of stops you using both arms at the same time.
but the balancing killed the game.
Yeah.
Making it so that players can
In Chivalry you don't really have characters, so balancing is a bit easier.
fundamentally part of the
We just have like 4 to 5 classes and that's it.
and keep a glory on the battlefield.
Well, I mean, I do have to ask, we're talking about swordplay and mastery, but the original Chivalry, I mean, it's kind of like silly fun. Like, how do you balance the mastery with the fun element?
Yeah, our goal has always been to make it so that players can take the game as seriously as they want to, and also as silly as they want to. We know that probably about half our audience plays the game drunk, and we love that. At least half. Yeah.
That's an important metric to track.
And the game has a huge influence from Monty Python as well. I mean, in the over-the-top voiceovers and the role-playing opportunities.
See, I do like this more laid-back feel of the PC gaming show, but it's also the thing that makes them overrun all the time.
Like, so, like, picking up chicken as a
But I'm interested how they get that data that half of their players play the game drunk.
on Chivalry 2.
You know, spyware.
Coming out, early 2020, and
Good old
it's coming,
spyware.
from
Mhm.
the Epic Games Store.
We'll look forward to checking it out early 2020. Gentlemen, John Gibson and Steve Piggott.
This was the first mention of the Epic Games Store.
We are just getting started here at the PC Gaming Show. Let's take a look at what's coming up next.
I didn't catch if it was an exclusive or not.
PC Gaming Show. Coming up. Build a world for wildlife in planet Zyrum. From the creators of Dark
But even then, I think that the Epic Games Store pop-up was really important for the gaming industry as a whole.
It definitely was. It's just the way they go about their business, snatching exclusive left and right. It's really not in the interest of the consumer at all.
Yeah, but they needed to establish their platform.
But you know how else they could do that? Having a really good...
Or people will stick to Steam.
No, you know, they could just have a really good storefront with everything that you would need in the storefront, complete and usable without being clunky at all. Then have less rubbish on it, so that the games that are on there are actually visible to people that are just browsing, and then also keep the higher share for the people that are on there. They wouldn't have needed this whole exclusivity stuff if they just made a better storefront than Steam has. Which wasn't that hard, because Steam's storefront is cluttered with bullshit.
Yeah, the thing is, Epic never made a storefront, so they're getting better.
Exactly, that's a problem. And then on top of that, they do this inter-consumer shit. By the way, Mosaic looks great.
So how are you guys enjoying it so far? There's been some swords, some space stations, down to activity. We're listening to your reactions to the PC Gaming Show throughout the entire broadcast, no matter what platform you're watching and ranting on. So keep them coming. Our next game is a ghost-themed multiplayer hide-and-seek game inspired by a popular mod. Charge up your proton packs and get ready for Midnight Ghost Hunt.
Ooh, Midnight Ghost Hunt. That's one I've never heard of. But it's a world exclusive, so fuck the people on Mars.
Yeah.
This already strikes me as like a multiplayer game. You have like players that play ghosts that hide in different props. Like the guy just went into the lamp,
Yeah.
and then you have the other team of players that hunt for him.
Yeah, prop hunt game.
Basically, but not like having a bunch of people that play props. Instead, you have a big squad of players that search for one ghost. Maybe. Maybe the ghost player is overpowered.
Or it's competitive 4v4, for example, equal team.
Yeah, it's definitely like a team versus one ghost, because this ghost seems really strong. Tea's ready. Ooh, now with demons.
Joining me on the stage to talk about Midnight Ghost Hunt is the dynamic one-man team.
It's a one-man team.
Programmer, designer, it's Sam Malone. Thank you for having me. Sam, please tell us what is going on in that. What is Midnight Ghost Hunt all about?
So, Midnight Ghost Hunt is a multiplayer ghost hunting hide-and-seek game. You can play either as ghosts or ghost hunters on a 4v4 format. The ghosts can hide inside
Okay, 4v4.
objects around the haunted house. The goal is
Yeah.
to like harmless
That would
ghosts.
give the advantage to the ghost,
On the
clearly.
inside, they're not so harmless ghosts as we saw.
Yeah, and if I'm understanding correctly, it's not about hiding.
I hope that it's not like in Widget
Hunter. It's actually
that
you would be necessarily keep running away and continue to hide.
Exactly.
found
The main objective of
props
ghosts is to
turn
stay
into
as long as
hunters.
they can until the time runs out, until the clock strikes midnight. Midnight being kind of the hour of the ghosts, basically. They can fight back if they like, but in general, they want to try to hide. But if there's a hunter kind of off by himself, he can quickly just hit him in the back of the head, knock him out real quick, and he has less hunters to deal with.
I see. Well, what's the identity of the hunter? We've been seeing furniture flying all over the place. What are the hunters?
I mean, we've seen games like this before, and we know that they work, because they are getting streamed all the time.
Like a detective game because they're sort of trying to figure out where the ghosts are hiding.
So the ghost idea, while not new, seems to be really well thought through, from what he's saying.
Where in the haunted house these ghosts are hiding.
I would like some gameplay, of course.
It's a bit more chaotic. There's ragdolls flying everywhere, and they have that cannon to really try to smash the ghosts into pieces. So those are kind of the two aspects of this.
Talk to me a little bit about the
Yeah, it's like
inspiration
Ghostbusters
for this. I understand it's based on a
as a game.
mod called Pop.
Kind of.
So that's definitely a big inspiration, but the big twist for us is that the props fight back. We saw the furniture, they hurl themselves at you, they knock you out.
Gary
they send
Smart
you flying.
mod.
So it kind of almost becomes like this action hide and seek sort of mashup. You have a reason to be a little bit afraid of the things that you're hunting. So that's
I cannot wait for the Harvey's Coup streams of this.
About when the clock
Yeah.
strikes midnight. We saw the very spooky red color pop up. We didn't see what happens then. What's going on?
So midnight, if even one ghost survives 4 minutes into the match, then you hear this ominous grandfather clock chime across the map. All the lights will actually flicker out. It'll get really dark and scary, and all the ghosts that were destroyed actually return as vengeful spirits. They're a lot more powerful than before, and they glow a very brilliant red. So at this point, the tables have turned. The hunters
Interesting.
And they just need to try to work together to stay alive long enough for the evac to come to another 4 minutes or so. Usually the ghosts win when it gets to midnight.
Are you talking like 90% of the time?
Yeah, because the ghosts
That's a really cool idea. I dig this.
Yeah.
that midnight lead currently.
I'm not a big multiplayer guy, but that I would try.
Well, awesome. When can people get the chance to try out Midnight Ghost Time?
So we'll be running an alpha event later in the summer. You can sign up at midnightghosttime.com. I'd also like to give a shout out to our Discord, discord.gg/midnightghosttime. Later in the summer, we'll be giving out keys on our Discord as well as on our main website.
Well, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Malone from Baltic Sky Games. For our next title, we got Frankie up in the balcony, and if I understand
I think full release late 2020 or 2021.
2020 sounds right to me.
Unexplored 2 is a procedural adventure, a roguelike that challenges you to fight to be clever and to solve its mysteries. Explore a beautiful world, engage with its creatures and defend its people. Search for magic lakes and ancient statues until you die. And die again. This is Unexplored 2.
Oh, Frankie, please never change.
World exclusive.
Big sugar. Oh, this is another interesting art style. This looks cool. Oh, hey, he wasn't. It looks a bit similar to a game that they announced last year. I'm not sure if it was the same one. I'm pretty sure it's not actually. This is like a top-down adventure game. Huh. Now the fact that they have multiple paths on the map reminds me a bit of Slay the Spire. So maybe this is designed to be like an adventure roguelike-ish game. But maybe it's maybe it's a game that you are intended to play through. Maybe it has a story. I'm not sure. Maybe they're gonna say something on that. But it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks like you still make progress when you die. So.
Oh, god damn it, they're not talking about the game. They're talking about a monitor.
Yeah, this game looked to me that that you make progress when you die. So either way you make progress if you succeed in a level or die.
Maybe depending on how far you go before you die, you can go different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just talk over this curved monitor thing, because who cares? Let's just talk about this game more. Yeah. Unexplored 2.
Interesting art style.
Yeah, it's again very cartoon shading, very flat shaded, very low poly. Looks cool. Also not very thick outlines.
We believe it's the world's first to have lag-free and carefree performance. And we think that the curve, this 1500 art radius, is going to be a very immersive experience you wouldn't get from a traditional flat panel. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the...
So, Stefan, who is part of the Drivers Gaming, actually has a curved monitor. And I'm not sold on those, honestly. Because not everything is designed to be displayed on a curved monitor, so some looks just weird.
Yeah, and I have,
240 hertz refresh rate
um,
G-Sync work well with.
So we think everybody's going to appreciate
or I'm not
speed
sure
performance, but ultimately,
this works
esports
with
first-person shooters are really
multiple
expensive.
monitors,
Well, of course,
how
that
this
matters.
looks.
Not just when is it available, but what type of cost are we talking?
So it'll be available mid-July.
So,
$400 for 27 inch panel. So it expands our gaming lineup to 8 models. Yeah.
Because when you said 400, I mean, that's 27.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so our gaming lineup expanded to 8 models, ranging from 24 all the way up to a 49-inch dual QHD. Check out Samsung.com/gaming240.
Interestingly enough, they don't mention the price on the biggest monitor they have.
You can go there for it.
Not for that price point.
Hey, at least he's honest.
You know that we have all sorts of great presentations and games coming up. Let's look at what's coming up in the PC gaming show.
Stay tuned for more announcements, trailers,
See, these coming up splash screens are completely unnecessary, I think.
burning questions about Borderlands.
Because it's not like they have ad breaks or anything. They just keep on with their presentation and then just have these things are coming up later on in this very same presentation. And I'm like, you don't need that. You don't need that at all. Just keep on with your presentation. You're talking with developers all the time. If you leave out these coming up stuff, then maybe you wouldn't overrun.
yeah, and that's just stretching the presentation.
Yeah. I get the flair that they're going for, but I don't think it's working or necessary.
Thanks for the warm applause. It's very exciting for all of us at Funcom to be here at the PC Gaming Show for the very first time ever.
That's a cool last name.
Naturally, we would like
Größli.
to show some of the cool stuff that we've been working on. So, without further ado, here are some of the games coming for 2019.
Something strange is going on.
Okay, now we cram a bunch of stuff into a sizzle reel again. Mutant Year Zero, I heard good things about this.
Yeah, and for all platforms.
Well, first it's for all platforms, but also it's like a cross of XCOM with mutants. There's a duck guy. How can you not be sold?
Yeah, there's one game, I think it's called Biomutant.
Mm-hmm.
There I'm really interested in this game, and there's only announced PC, Xbox One, and PS4. Hopefully it's coming to Switch.
What's with what all those Conan games recently? Now we have a Conan RTS. I mean, I'm going to probably try it out because I love RTS games, even though I'm terrible at them. But what's up with all these Conan games recently?
Yep.
Moons of Madness. This seems like a horror experience, maybe. Strikes me as a mixture of Prey and maybe a bit of Layers of Fear in there.
Who would have thought? My son, off to fly among the stars.
Maybe a little bit of Dead Space as well.
Please welcome to the stage, founder and director of Mighty Kingdom, Philip Mays.
So yeah, at Funcom we've been doing our own games for over 26 years now. But recently we had the great pleasure to be working with some other very talented developers and help them publish their games. And on that note, I'd like to introduce Phil Mays. He is founder of Mighty Kingdom, a studio out of Australia, who has been working with us on something a little different.
Thank you, Natasha. So on April 1st this year, we put out a little trailer for something called Conan Chop Chop. And considering the day that was perhaps most
Conan Chop Chop.
decided that was April Fool's joke. So yeah, we have a little surprise for you. Check this out.
So they made an April Fool's joke and then developed it anyway. Is that where this is going to go? They really did it, didn't they? A game that is definitely not real, but probably should be. Yep, they actually went and did it. They made Don't Starve Conan edition. Which, to be fair, looks... Yeah, exactly what Games Radar said. It kind of looks fun.
Yeah.
But the walking animation is literally almost the same thing as Don't Starve. Yeah, they actually made Conan Chop Chop. You know what? I'm gonna give it to them. Looks cool.
So there you have it, Conan Chop Chop. It's a roguelike action-adventure game. It's very real, and it's coming to PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch.
It's very real.
They did a Devolver. They made a joke and then made it real.
Here already free at our demo room, so if you want to give Stick Figure Conan a try, then please don't hesitate to drop by.
Speaking of which, have you seen the Devolver Direct yet?
No, not yet. I think halfway through Bethesda,
Mm-hmm.
Last Oasis is
and
a dramatic survival game set in
it's
a
pretty bad.
post-apocalyptic future where
I mean, it's still better than I expected it to be,
humans need to outrun the blazing sun in massive open world
but,
Good times.
you know,
But cheer up,
you
sunshine.
know.
This is one of the most original looking multiplayers we've seen. With
But yeah, Bethesda, not Bethesda, Devolver, instead of doing the same presentation like the last couple of times with the stock footage and everything, they made a direct.
Oh,
With the, it was insane. Of course it was. I'm not going to spoil you on it, but after you've seen the jokes, I want your opinion on it. Actually, we're probably gonna have some time between the AMD conference and Square Enix, so maybe we can have your live reactions to Devolver. That would be
maybe.
cool. Oh, this looks... I hope you don't build this, because that would be too complicated for me. But if it's just in the game, then I'm in.
this looks a bit like Prestige.
Mm-hmm.
The construction and so on, but with
Like I said, if
with
you just
people-
get to play these, or if you just get to take them from the Steam Workshop or whatever, right? And you just get to
Yeah.
plop them in and drive them, I'm in. If you have to build those, I'm out. Because this looks way too complicated for me. Last Oasis.
yeah, depends on the building they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
If this is really complicated or just like Lego.
I mean, even if you just plop some stuff together, I will probably just build really stupid stuff that doesn't work as I want to. This looks great. This immediately looks great. A bit
This
Civ
looks
inspired.
really like Civ.
Yeah, a bit Civ inspired, but with big fuck off mechs. And we have cyborg zombies, dinosaurs with lasers, mechs. So they have a little bit of everything, but they are more focused than this anime MMO we had on the Microsoft conference, Phantasy Star.
Yeah, this looks like the Civ that went into the space.
Mm-hmm. But in cool,
Yeah.
because
but
the Civ
actually
that went into space was not good.
Yeah. And it was pretty unbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
strategy game, and joining me on the stage to talk about it is the
Ooh, Age of Wonders. I thought about this.
developer Tom Bird. Welcome, guys.
I think they were bought by Paradox.
Planetfall is all about.
Isn't-
Sure. Age of Wonders is a turn-based strategy game where you play as one of the survivors of a shared
So
empire.
that's
At the start of the game,
might be good for them because Paradox is really good in strategy games.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paradox.
I don't think Paradox has made a bad game yet. I don't remember one.
Yeah, the one that was bad in the eyes of the community was Imperator Rome because it was communicated badly.
Oh yeah, they did make that, didn't they?
Yeah, well, uh, what what this game is, what was really badly communicated by Paradox. But the game itself is not that bad.
Yeah.
The community had just a really high expectation.
Yeah, now that you said it, I do remember like a lot of forum posts about that when it came out.
I think Steam review they had a 75 or just about that. For Paradox, it's really bad. Normally they have round about 90% of positive reviews.
But this looks also like a game I would play so far. Most of the games that they showed, I'm at least interested in.
Yeah, if they put something or their story plots they have, what Paradox have in Stellaris, into this game, it could be really, really good. Because they did Age of Wonders games before and they were kind of good, but they had really, really big problems. And I think Paradox can fix them with their knowledge of strategy game.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so when combat starts, you'll see, like on the world map, maybe like a little sort of space lab or something like that. When you start to go into combat, you will zoom all the way in, and you will be inside the lab. You'll see all the pipes and all the goops flowing around. All of your units that you've been putting together and built are now deployed. In turn-based combat, you can move them into cover, use their abilities, shoot laser cannons. Maybe you've chosen the boss, you've got like a bunch of space wolves and little metal suits, have big holes in the ground, like shoot from the hole.
This just on a conceptual level, this game looks insane.
How long does some of these battles wind up lasting? It depends. A short battle can be maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but at the end of the game, you've got a massive siege, like 20 units on your side, 20 units on their side. You've got orbital cannons blasting miles in the world, and that can maybe take 30 minutes.
Well, talk to us about when we can play the game. Okay. The game's due.
Yeah, typical stiff gameplay. The first turns are just
Yeah.
a few seconds, and the end you're minutes into one turn.
2 months away. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you for sharing the horrors of the future. And for our next game, Frankie, I have to ask you, what year is it?
Why, the year is 1946, Sean, my dear boy.
Oh god.
Torn apart by the satanic Plan Z. A brave band of heroes cast their fury into hell, but little do they know.
She's really having it up now.
Achtung! This is the world exclusive reveal of the next shooter from the makers of Sniper Elite 4.
Well, she said Achtung for the Sniper Elite reveal. So, you know, it's going to be something. The thing with sniping games is basically that I'm interested in having a game focused on that, but I'm so terrible at sniping that usually I lose the fun in that really quickly. Yeah, good idea, just shoot at the Nazi zombies. Alert everyone to your presence. Oh, these guys are fucked. Oh my god, they have flamethrowers.
Of course.
Hmm. Classic sniper elite. Here's another question. When you have these big hordes of zombies, why would you snipe at them? Snipers are really low when it comes to firing rate.
Yeah, just throw a grenade.
Yeah, like look, you have all these kinds of weapons in this. I mean, this is not a gameplay trailer, of course, but if you have Gatling guns and you have flamethrowers and you have like pistols and everything and assault rifles and whatnot, why would you actually snipe against a giant horde of zombies? Oh no, it's the giant face in the sky.
Yeah, and I know who this person in the sky was.
Also, there was an epic symbol, but not a Steam symbol down there.
What's next for Warframe? A surreal war adventure.
Oh, this looks interesting.
And after the Big Bang, Baldur's Gate 3, and more.
It's very interesting. Like the few times that I've noticed an epic symbol but not a Steam symbol, they never point it out directly. So it's a very understated thing this time. I was hoping they would address it at some point. But I guess Epic is a sponsor, so they wouldn't do anything that gives Epic another bad PR swing. Even though it's probably gonna come anyway, because gamers are not stupid.
Yeah, sometimes they are.
Touché. Yeah, so this creature design I'm actually into.
And gamers are really toxic if they do not get what they want.
Yeah, they are highly opinionated, definitely. And another thing is that the vocal minority is extremely loud.
Yeah.
So even if you do it right, you're probably gonna get some shit from somewhere. Remnant from the ashes.
100% that what I wanted. Bad game.
Yeah, and you cannot please everyone these days. So.
Joining me on the
Yeah.
stage to talk about Remnant from the Ashes.
Remnant looks cool.
We got the chance to see so much new gameplay footage and new environments. Let's welcome the CEO of Gunfire Games, David Adams. So David, I want to ask right away for those who are unfamiliar with Remnant from the Ashes, what kind of game is it?
So Remnant's a co-op action shooter set on an apocalypse.
A lot of co-op.
across a bunch of cool fantasy worlds.
And I mean, in that trailer, we got the chance to see a huge variety of different environments. Like, what are these different places? Who's the player in the story?
So as a player, you're on sort of a Odyssey-like quest to save the world, and we really wanted to have a bunch of different cool locales you can go to just to experience a bunch of different stuff. You start on Earth, but it rapidly changes very quickly as you get into the game.
And one thing that we've talked about before is that replayability is a huge focus of the game. That you could play through it 10 times and still be seeing new bosses, new monsters, new locations. How exactly does that work?
So see, they share the tweet of Mosaic has my interest, but they pretty much didn't acknowledge Mosaic. They just kind of showed it, but then moved on to something else. A bit underwhelming, but the game looks cool, definitely. I just hope to see more of it.
And you just have to keep going through and eventually explore what
I'm going to say that so far on E3 as a whole, the indie devs have really delivered when it comes to interesting art styles and the games that just catch your attention based on art style alone.
Yeah, and the good thing they do here is, even if they do not have the game ready or something, they do beta or alpha in this whole of summer, where PC gamers do not have really much to play this year. If we look at console, it's a bit different.
It is.
Fire Emblem comes out in summer. That's a really big game. But for PC gamers, this isn't really an option.
This gameplay that they're rolling in the background looks appealing to me. So basically it's Dark Souls but with guns, and I think the fact that I can just stand back and shoot at stuff as opposed to being forced to go into combat might make this appealing to me more than any other Souls-like game would. At the very least, I would be willing to give Dark Souls but with guns a try.
This one was announced 2 years ago at the PC Gaming Show here. It's a game from Clay Entertainment called Grifflets.
Oh.
It's changed quite a bit in the last 2 years. It's now a deck-building roguelike where you don't just fight, but you also negotiate.
Deck-building roguelike, that means they are in direct competition with Slay the Spire.
It's going to be available on the Epic Game Store in one short month on July 11th.
Epic Game Store.
Let's take a look at some of the footage. What do we find?
Doesn't put them in a good position against Slay the Spire. I mean, the art style is nice. So was that just like a debate fight? So as opposed to Slay the Spire, this also has role-playing elements, and you can build a team. So gameplay-wise, this looks really cool. Art style is nice. If they have those cartoon cutscenes in the game, that would be a huge addition, actually. If they just did that for the trailer, no, I would be slightly disappointed. But at least at the everything else, the art style looks cool. But Epic Games only. That's a downer.
Planet Zoo is the latest game from the makers of the brilliant Planet
Alright, time for Planet Zoo then.
Welcome. Here's Jackson and Lisa Bollins from Frontier Development. Now, Piers, what kind of zoo are we going to be running here?
So Planet Zoo is a new management sim game from us. It involves you building and looking after a modern zoo, and you get to look after the most authentic animals we believe.
He has a great voice.
Each of our animals are unique. They have their own needs, their own desires, and their own behaviours. They interact with each other.
He could narrate documentaries.
The world that you build around them. And today, for the very first time, we're really excited to show everyone here our gameplay video and an outside launch date.
Oh, fantastic. Let's buy the world's largest family park and take a look inside.
Would this be a game that you'd be interested in? Because I know sometimes you like to build like theme parks and stuff. So would you be willing to play a game where you build a zoo?
Depends really on the game, how, if this is sandbox or not, if it's all these factors.
They have shitting hippos. Are you sold?
Not yet.
I mean, I haven't really had too much chance to play a lot of management games. Sure, I would be shit at them, but I do like animals, so maybe I would try this out.
Yeah, this looks like any other Zoo Tycoon game at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
With just a little bit better graphics.
Ah, the graphics look fine to me. They have baby elephants, shitting hippos, and a vacuum. So really, how can you not be sold?
It's just like any other Zoo Tycoon game.
Recently, there was this dinosaur zoo game, Jurassic World, I believe.
Yeah.
This reminded me very much of that, but without the dinosaurs.
Yeah, they need something that is different from other Tycoon games.
Lisa's done a fantastic voiceover for it, and we'll be releasing that onto Cringe's YouTube channel. That goes live this Friday at 11 AM Pacific time.
Fantastic. I cannot wait to watch. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's Elisa, everyone. Next up, we have a very special guest all the way from Japan.
Oh my god, they bring the Japanese people along. By the way, this Japanese woman was the best part next to Doom of the Bethesda conference. She was so sweet.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the stage is a legend of Japanese game development, Mr. Yu Suzuki.
Woo!
Hello, everyone. In addition to being the brains behind the following games, Hang On, Space Harrier, Outrun, Afterburner, Virtual Racing, and Virtual Fighter, Yusan also created the Shenmue series, and he's here to talk about Shenmue 3.
That's a big one.
Take it away, Yusan.
The first Shenmue has kind of aged badly, but the second one still holds up in my opinion.
I just want to say thank you to all the fans supporting me for the long 20 years. Thank you very much.
The wait is nearly over. That's right, let's take a world exclusive look at Shenmue 3.
They keep throwing this world exclusive crap around.
Yeah, that's their thing.
Honestly, I don't think your kung fu is strong enough.
World class lip syncing again. This is exactly what I want from a Shenmue game.
A long time ago, martial arts were bad, but humans are interesting creatures. They practiced in secret, away from prying eyes, and became stronger.
You know what I want more than anything else in a game? If there was like a training mission where you learn Kung Fu from Orange Cassidy.
That would be really, really great.
If I ever get the chance to make a game, I will put in a mission where you learn fighting from Orange Cassidy. I'm sure the dude would be cool with it.
Yeah, if he doesn't have to do anything.
This lip syncing kills me.
It's really, really bad.
Hey, graphically it looks fine, so you know what? I don't even care.
PS4 and Epic.
It comes out this year. That's big. That's a big release right there.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you.
Now our next title is near and dear to my childhood heart. It's based upon a game I grew up playing called Heroes of Might and Magic 2.
Oh.
Take a look at an upcoming collaboration between Coffee Stain Studios and Lava Potion.
Oh, Coffee Stain. This is this high-res pixel art style that you love, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, as for pixel art, this is really high quality.
I love the art style of Octopath Traveler a little bit more, but this is really, really good.
I love the music. This should play as like the intro when Hylon comes on stage. Really cool. I love the glowing in there. Songs of Conquest. Classic adventure strategy. I'm in.
The name of the game is Songs of Conquest, and here to join me in talking about it is the lead designer from Lava Potion, Carl Hochfeld. Hey, Carl.
Hey, thanks.
I mean, let's just start off. For anyone who maybe hasn't played the Heroes of Might and Magic series, what is Song of Conquest all about?
It's all about, well, you kind of start out with in the town that you just saw in the trailer, and from there you recruit your wielders, it's what we call our commanders, and you recruit an army, and then you kind of send off.
They have 1 hour left.
And they go exploring the world, they pick up resources.
So far the pace is good.
With those resources, you upgrade your town, you can get more stuff, and that's kind of what you do. Adventure and strategy combined.
Yeah, and you know, I know that part of the core loop is obviously get the resources built at the township, but for what reason? Armies, man. Talk to me about those juicy battles.
Yeah, so the battle, just like the whole game, is turn-based. So you go into combat.
You know what I love about this art style?
You start by deploying them, and then all the troops that
The giant chests.
Sure. They go in initiative order, and then you plug it out, and it's a bit like chess, but instead of like pawns and bishops, you have like ordwans and face turrets.
Great. And weapons and so on.
And all those things.
And well, you know, as someone who just loves the Heroes of Might and Magic series, I know that you have translated a lot of the gameplay elements into songs.
Yeah, the character models look a little bit big.
I just love the fact that there are giant chests in this world that are bigger than like this wagon there. Because they need to be clear where's what, so just it's kinda cheesy, but I love it. Look at that! This chest is as big as a small mountain.
Yeah, and the character are bigger than this little mountain.
That's like classic PC gaming sizing. It's just like, okay, we have this world and here's a chest, so we're just going to put a chest icon there so you can see there's a chest. They couldn't be bothered with actually having correct sizes because they only had so many pixels to work with.
Yeah.
Now our next title is an update to a popular co-op game. Let's see what's in store for Vermintide 2.
Oh, that's another big one, Vermintide. Although the first one was a bit more hyped than the second one when it came out. So basically this is just you go around kill Skaven. Oh, they have the Gatling guns now.
Yeah, the rattling gun.
A rattling gun. Good one. And poison claws is. Oh. Okay. That's gonna spice up the streaming life of this game, for sure.
Which turns the Warhammer Fantasy cooperative game into something even more brutally competitive. It looks deliciously vile, and surely dismembering Skaven is so much more satisfying when you know you're going ham on a fellow player, making him or her cry little baby rats in your
Why would you go ham? As a red, wouldn't you go cheese?
Sign up now for the Vermintide 2 Versus Beta at vermintide2.com/. In per alpha, you're an artificial
I need to keep up with the Rattling gun, man.
whose ultimate purpose is to
Yeah.
transform attack, starting from a single drone in your landing
Yeah,
site,
that joke
turning
was
attacks
really
into a
cheesy.
flourishing second home for humanity. Courtesy of developer Lawn Industries and publisher War Fury, here's a first ever look at per abstract.
At what?
As we all know, reaching the Red Planet was not humanity's greatest
A Tlön game.
transferring the complexity of the human mind to machines was. So they can succeed where we failed. So they can build us a home on that distant, dusty rock. Today, Amy reaches Mars and begins their mission. Amy,
So this is another let's build a colony on Mars game.
Of course, I'm with you, Houston.
You know what this weirdly reminds me of? This reminds me of these games where you... Like Mini Metro, for instance, where you build like a train system. Only that you build a colony on a planet, but with this train system.
Our next guest then players back in
Yeah.
time to rewrite history. But for his debut project with indie studio Panache Digital Games, he's going to take
Could be
us back
interesting.
1 million years to where humanity began. Here to tell us all about ancestors is creative director and co-founder Patrice Desilets. Welcome, Patrice.
Thank you for having me. Really happy to be here. Been waiting 10 years to come back.
He was waiting there for 10 years just for this PC gaming show to roll around. That's dedication, man.
When I started Panache, I needed a game, an open world game in which you can do a lot of things. You need a character in a 3D environment at first. And so,
An open world game where you can do a lot of things. Man, that's...
so I needed a historical period.
Just every open world game.
Yeah, that what I was about to say. There's a big market gap for you there.
Because I won't have to build a city, I won't have to build technology, and I was a bit naive. Because we built Africa 10 million years ago. And that's not easy to build.
But I do remember that game being announced in the Game Awards, I think. If I have that right.
Our last common ancestors, right, of all the big apes, and then you have to explore your environment, and eventually you expand your territory, you expand your clan, because you're not playing that one badass character. You play a group of badass characters. And eventually you evolve into different species, up until Lucy the Australopithecus was roughly 2 million years ago.
I imagine our ancestors had a lot more issues.
If E3 is good, why haven't they made an E4?
There's a lot more dangers in this world.
Valid question.
It's all about from a prey to a predator. Basically, at the beginning of the game,
These
everybody's
comments,
there to
that's...
kill you and devour you. And,
what the fuck.
And basically, at the end, it's pretty much you. You're the predator, and everybody's the
The internet is crazy.
And that's the idea of ancestors, the humankind.
The PC gaming show so far, I do enjoy it a bit more than last year's, but it has the exact same problem as last year. That they move through these games so quickly and some of them don't get really talked about. That I already am forgetting some of the games that I liked.
There's no story per se inside. It's not about going and see mission givers. It's not about looking at the mini maps and the little dots. It's about you.
But also on the whole, most of the games they've showed so far, I would at least try out.
And that's the question I'm asking.
So the quality of the games they show is pretty high this year.
Question August 27th.
Well, I was
on PC first.
I was going to ask you when we can see it, and you answered my question first. Thank you so much.
Getting good at this.
It will be released August 27th, and you can learn more at ancestorgames.com.
Alright, now we have the big epic sellout. Yeah, that's a big one, Borderlands 3 there. I'm sure they're gonna end on this. Oh, Pathless. I do remember this one. Untitled Goose Game. And also tanks. Adam crops. Oh god, what is this? That was like Bullet Hell Harvest Moon or something. What the golf?
Oh my god.
You know what? What the golf? It's also a game I would try out. Two stars. 3 stars. Is this
Oh,
Dota
auto
auto chess?
Yeah, it's something auto chess. Because Dota is from Valve. And
Yeah.
I don't think that they released it
It's
on
just
Epic.
called auto chess.
Yeah. But I heard that Valve and the developer of the game mode in Dota are working together on a standalone.
Well, that would be another game now. But the fact that they publish their own auto chess now is that's a declaration of fight there. That's a fighting declaration.
I'm the CEO and founder of Dragons Game. Dragons Game is a game developer and publisher coming from China. I'm so happy to be here today on this stage to introduce our game, Auto Chess, to all of you. This is really an exciting moment for us. As the trailer says, this is a really engaging game of Auto Chess. Dragons now is working with the creator of Auto Chess, Dota Studio. They are working together to bring Auto Chess to work, both on PC and mobile, so that everyone from anywhere with any device can enjoy the same fun of Auto Chess.
Anyone can play, outside of the people that are just on Steam. I'm assuming.
Yeah, but if auto chess is free, then on Epic, then you just
Making it not free would be a terrible business move on their part.
yeah. but if it's free, then yeah, why stick to Steam?
Exactly, exactly. They are probably trying everything they can to get people away from Steam at this moment. So
yeah, and these sticking to Steam is just, oh, I want all my games to be in one on one platform, and that's just, it can't be happening.
I mean, it already is not happening because you have GOG, you have Ubisoft requiring most of their games to be launched through the Uplay launcher, then you have all of the EA games that
But you
require
can buy
Origin.
Yeah, but you can buy the Ubisoft game on Steam.
You can, yeah. But I mean, you still need the launcher though, so.
The world exclusive Pretty,
They keep throwing that word around like it means something.
yeah, some people in the ISS right now.
I mean, again, this is like an interesting concept, and the art style is again very interesting. It stands out.
Would you change it? Could you make the hard decisions? And would you be strong enough to fight?
This kind of reminds me of a cross between Professor Layton and Little Briar Rose, which is a small indie game no one knows.
If you learn from the past and act in the present, you can rewrite the
Oh, and also a bit of Child of Light in there. This seems neat. And it's on Steam. Oh my god, Frankie has a gun, we are all fucked.
Size of your weapon, it's how you use it. And I'm holding one of the, well, quite frankly, it's a bit average, isn't it? It's your average, Glock, really. No, it's one of the ridiculous alien weapons from our next game, Valfaris.
The fact that Frankie is like 5 foot something big just makes it more ridiculous to give her the big gun.
Yeah.
Assuming the role of fearless warrior Therium, players must blast and slash their way through the doomed citadel of Valfaris, overcoming its deadly environments and enemies before challenging the arcane evil at its very heart. Get ready to rip the galaxy a new wormhole. From publisher Big Sugar, this is Valfaris.
Frankie with this gun needs to be a GIF. There are so many situations I could think of where I would like to respond with a GIF of Frankie holding this gun. Oh my god, the soundtrack. Oh my god, this is metal as fuck. Is that banging as well? This is like a side-scrolling Doom if Doom was a Metroidvania. And also crossed with what's the name of it? Damn it, I can't think of the name right now. Valfaris. This looks cool. This looks really cool.
In case you have not been in downtown LA, E3 is covered with Borderlands 3 art. It's amazing, it's beautiful. And joining me is the amazing and beautiful Paul Sage, creative director of Borderlands 3.
Beautiful's a new one, thanks.
Yeah, there you go, Paul. Welcome. I mean, there's been so much hype around Borderlands 3. What's the stuff you're really excited to be sharing this year at E3?
Oh man, so we talked about our vault hunters. Well, this time we get to talk about Mose, and she is our gunner vault hunter. So she has a big mech. So it's one thing all about loot. We're talking about the different loot, such as shields, grenades, those things, going to different planets. So a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well, I mean, I want to start right off with Mose. Tell us everything you can about her.
Okay, yes, I'll tell you everything I can. So Mose, again, like I said, she's a mech pilot. She has this big mech. It's called Iron Bear. She gets into Iron Bear. We have multiple action skills, which means that she can equip either a minigun or a railgun or a flamethrower. If you want to barbecue your enemy, something like that.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Mose is a terrifically fun character for us right now.
Now, we've been excited to be collating a whole bunch of community questions. We're going to break them into two categories. First, there's a whole bunch of repeat questions that I want to make sure we get to right now. One of the big categories is about loot. Because we mentioned having a billion guns earlier, but what can you tell us about some of the other gear, the other progression systems right in the game?
Yeah, so let's talk about grenades, like one of my favorite things that we don't get to talk about a lot. So in the past we've had grenades, they've had like one thing, they can bounce, they can stick to different things,
Are you interested in Borderlands at all?
So for instance, the other day I was playing,
No.
threw a grenade and that grenade
No,
would bounce,
Borderlands
it would stick, and explosive
just never caught me.
The thing is, it's really trimmed on multiplayer, and it wasn't really good for unless you were already. Oh, the stream just died for me. for a second there. Like, if you weren't already having your entire party set from beginning to end, people joining in afterwards were just screwed. It wasn't really well scaling and everything. The stream is just fucking up right now for them.
Hey, does the game feel fluid? Can I, slide into things? Can I jump? Can I mantle? Right. So when we were playing with that, we actually slid into a barrel, right? And the barrel exploded. We're like, well, that's kind of fun.
Borderlands is killing the stream.
Yeah.
Certain things to movement. So, for instance, you can slide faster. You can slide, and every time you slide, there's an explosion. We have something we call.
Oh my god, it's dying again.
A second category of questions unrelated to loot. Well, there's going to be a single player campaign.
PC gaming!
Single player, maybe end game we can talk about.
Alright, in game content. Okay, well, it's E3, so I can give a little bit. So we have this thing what we call the Guardian system. So for those of you who played Borderlands before, you might remember Badass Ranks. Badass Ranks, you can get, it's basically kind of infinite progression system that added to your stats. Yeah. We doubled down on that. We have what we call Guardian Ranks.
Is it fucking up for you as well, or is it on my end?
Yeah.
Skills and different skills that you can open up as you go through. And the cool thing about that is, like, every...
Is there a dog and can I pet it? Great question, Milky Sucks.
Alright, last category we're going to go through, and then we're going to hit some more rapid-fire questions. How do the boss fights in Borderlands 3 compare to Borderlands 1 and 2? And those were big.
Oh, that's a big one.
Chat is spamming F.
So with boss fights in Borderlands, that enemies in general, they were all bullet sponges. So the boss fights kind of dragged on too much. And again.
And the Fs are coming back.
Yeah. That's gonna drag down the grade, I feel.
Really quick questions that should be yes or no, very brief. First from Castoray. How will you be handling multiplayer?
There was one comment in the Twitch chat which was, good one, Todd Howard.
Can I pet the gun? Great question.
I'm not here to judge what you do with your gun. So, that's a personal question.
Alright, great. Sam Wiseman asks, is Maya's new companion a siren?
People are asking the right questions. That's what I will say about that.
Oh, you tease.
Sorry.
Alright, from Ironic Sanguine says, is Tiny Tina going to be seen fighting alongside Vault Hunters?
Yes.
Cool.
Nice. Alright, I'm just going to blast through a couple more as fast as I possibly can. What's the level cap at launch?
50.
Will we get to see flag?
Yes.
Will we see golden keys and or shift codes for Borderlands 3?
Absolutely.
Will there be duels?
Yes.
Other kinds of PvP?
Yes and no.
And also maybe.
And also maybe.
And will you be able to transfer weapons between your characters?
Absolutely, right from the start.
Perfect. And when is the damn game coming out?
Friday the 13th, 2019, September 13th.
Perfect. Borderlands.
Press F to respect the shank.
Thanks so much for joining me on stage.
John, thank you.
Yeah, the fact that the stream kind of fucked up on them is a bit unfortunate.
We're going to be revisiting a guest that we saw earlier in the show. He's upstairs with Frankie. What you got for us?
Oh my god.
Oh, hi, we're live. Sorry. Hello, I was just, I was actually testing out my outfit for this weekend. I don't know, what do you think, sir?
I think you look really sharp, as always.
Very sharp. Well, thank you.
She looks very sharp.
President of Tripwire, thank you
Yeah.
for joining us again on the show. Very busy man, yes.
Is this an update on Manhunter by chance?
Revealed Man-Eater 2.
Man-Eater, sorry.
Can you remind anyone who missed it what the game's all about?
Absolutely. Man-Eater is an open world.
So now the Twitch chat needs to open. Cringe.
I mean, it is a bit, isn't it? But also Frankie makes it kind of work. It's just what she does. If you follow her on Twitter for any long period of time, you know that.
Baby shark.
Do 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 do. He's playing guitar with a fish. I like this guy. I hope he doesn't get eaten. Hell yeah. This trailer was fun. It didn't tell me anything about the gameplay, but it was fun.
Appallingly dressed fisherman in the trailer because, quite frankly, not even I would eat him.
That was Scaly Pete. And Scaly Pete's the villain in this tale.
Oh, he's the villain! Now I'm interested.
Is our best fisherman in the Gulf, best shark fisherman, or he'll tell you he's the best shark fisherman. And he disfigures our baby shark at the beginning of the game and does some really nasty things. So he's not a very nice guy. And now the story of Maneater is told through the lens of a reality show called Shark Hunters vs. Maneater.
The shark has been respected. Absolute highlight. I love this. That cancels out the that cancels out the stuff that I would reduce for the stream fucking up earlier. This saved it.
What the fuck is happening?
Okay, there it is. There's gameplay. This is like depth, but you know, less PvP focus, I guess. This looks really fun.
So there's a lot of exciting things that you can do in the game.
And you mentioned before it's a Shark PG. How does that progression system work?
So there's three facets to
Shark PG.
There's growth, there's life phases, and there's evolutions. So growth comes about through eating things, nutrients, people, whatever you can find. And that's kind of like your XP in the game. That allows you to level up, your shark will grow a little bit, you'll get more powerful. And then at key phases, that we call life phases, you'll make a big jump. So let's say you're a brooding teenage shark and you're about to become an adult. When you become an adult, you take a big leap in size, a big leap in power and capability. And then as you reach these life phases, you unlock evolutions that can be applied to parts of the shark's body. For example, you could get metallic teeth that allow you to shred boats, or a powerful tail that allows you to jump to incredible heights. Or you could get mutated lungs that allow you to spend a little more time on the beach getting those afternoon snacks.
Just really quickly, John, everyone's wanting to know this question. When's it coming out?
So we're really hard hammerheading away at this game and trying to make it the most awesome shark RPG ever. We're not ready to announce a date, but we're pretty certain you're going to see it before the next PC Gaming Show.
Well, I hope we do, John.
Okay, cool. So early next year, I would guess then.
I'm quite hungry at the moment, so I think actually I'm going to find an audience member because you guys are tasty. So I'll see you in a bit. I'm just going to have a snack. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Give it up for Frankie, man. Also, here's a chair. Looks like a good chair. Definitely better than what I'm currently sitting in. Are they going to talk about the chair now?
You know, one of the absolute best parts about being sponsored by iWin for the PC Gaming Show is that I get to sit for this next segment and talk to you about Terraria. Terraria.
Oh, okay, Terraria. I almost forgot that that was a thing.
Part of the reason why it's maintained such popularity is the fact that the developers Relogic continue to add content, going from 250 items at release to now over 4,000. Let's take a look at their penultimate expansion coming up, Terraria Journey's End.
Penultimate, huh? So are they saying this is the final thing they add before the game is done? Customizable cars. Character customization. Huh. You can play golf now. Bestiary. Well. Was that planned? That didn't seem planned. They just kind of cut off the trailer there.
Yeah.
Oof, oof, technical difficulties. Oh, Her Story, I still have to play that one.
You watch live interactive video in order to uncover what happened with the murder. What is it that's going on in Telling Lies? What's the premise?
So, like Her Story, Telling Lies is a game in which you watch video footage to piece together a story.
So basically it's a sequel.
We have a woman who has stolen an NSA hard drive, which contains secretly recorded intimate and private conversations between our four characters. Something has gone...
Yeah, I don't know if it's a sequel, but it uses the same game mechanics.
Yeah, so it's not the same story, clearly, because apparently Her Story was complete in itself. So it's basically the same gameplay, but now you watch something going on between 4 characters as opposed to 1.
Yep.
So it's kind of a sequel. You probably have to figure out what the lie was.
It's late. I gotta get her in the bath. I don't love you and I don't miss you. You already know too much.
There's 3 women, 1 dude. I can kind of think what the lie might have been about.
Love you. Love you.
Mm-hmm.
I've only ever been in love once. It was with a girl I met when I was 18, but I was too young and naive to handle it properly. I guess I still carry the torch for her, which makes me an incurable romantic or underdeveloped emotionally.
Well, this looks engaging. Again, I still have to play Her Story, which I guess I should do before this comes out. When does this come out?
Soon.
Oh. Well, I guess I should play it soon then.
Talk to me about the mechanics. I mean, I saw, with the subtitles up, highlighting, it was loading more video footage. What's going on?
So what we do in Telling Lies is we take all of the exploration you have in a normal video game, so all that walking around in the 3D world, and we apply that directly to the story, to the footage itself. So you're going to be scrubbing around in these clips, paying close attention, and you're going to be picking up on the subtext, listening to names, people, places, and with that information you're going to use that to find more things, dig into those, and over time kind of build up this picture of the story. And it's truly like an open world video game.
Well, I mean, a lot of times with open world video games, they talk about the square kilometerage or miles in America. What's the sort of scope that we're talking about? Like, how many hours of footage is there?
So we got like over 10 hours of footage here.
Wow,
so
really?
It's a story that encompasses 2 years. What I wanted to do with this one was, like I said, really embrace this idea of it being an open world game. You're free to explore and follow your curiosity.
So they have 10 hours of footage and you have to puzzle it together on your own pace. So I would expect this to last about like maybe, but when you're first going in blind, and you're probably not going to find all of the footage at the first time, so maybe about 5 hours, maybe 6 of playtime, maybe less.
Not unlike a movie or a TV show, and we had to understand it A to B. And so, for the most part, that's how we shot it. Obviously, when you're shooting a movie or a TV show, and in this case, a game, you're going to be shooting out of order. But we actually stayed pretty linear in how we approached the story. We went after it like all the other times we're actors. We just went after intention and what do we want, and we tried to make it as deep. It's got a lot of scope. Yeah. But we wanted to make it as deep as possible, and Sam is one of the best movie and TV directors I've worked with, so it was very similar to that.
Nice. Yeah. What did you see? Now, of course, I do want to stress to any of you, if you have not played her story, it's quick to play through, it's absolutely brilliant. Please check it out in the meantime, but we're of course waiting to find out, when can we play Telling Lies?
Very soon. Very soon.
Cool.
We'll have a date soon. Right now, you can go to
Okay, they don't have a date yet, so probably a couple of months away.
and yeah, very soon. We'll be showing a little bit more during E3, and the game will be out. Yeah, very soon.
Fantastic.
First to get it out there.
Yeah. As soon as humanly possible. Well, Sam, Logan, thanks so much for joining me on stage.
They have 25 minutes left. It's very appropriate. What?
Ubisoft begins an hour after this ends, roughly.
Yeah, but limited run games is at the top of the hour.
From being upstaged by a giant duck, we're getting a glimpse at the future of Warframe. And here with the latest look at the next expansion to the universe is Space Mum Rebecca Ford. So, chat, behave yourselves please, because Mother's here. Now Rebecca, what are we about to do?
We're going to take a look at an amazing trailer that our team has put together. A lot of our players have been waiting a year for a look at what we've been calling Railjack, so it's about time to, see what we've been doing.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Warframe is really going strong. It's still not very beginner friendly, but I have heard stories that it's gotten better about it. But aside from that, you know, I don't think I can get into it. Because I like to teach myself the game that I'm playing. And Warframe is not very good about teaching yourself. But yeah, I just want to say it's very appropriate for a gaming convention to have a game called Telling Lies. That should have been featured in the EA conference if there was any. I mean, this looks like a pretty badass Warframe.
Rebecca, it must be so exciting to know that the fans have finally seen it, and you're clearly going all in on the epic space combat. So tell me about the new stuff the players are going to be able to see.
I wasn't shaking before we started talking, and now I am because it's real, because, Empyrean is what we're calling codename Railjack. It's basically taking the space ninja part of Warframe, sending it back up to space, bringing players that squad gameplay they know, taking the enemies like the Corvus and the Grineer, giving them their own Railjack to essentially explode a solar system with and take down bad guys.
And when how can we see more?
Well, TennoCon is in London, Ontario. It's July 6th, and you can come watch it online on Twitch. We're going to be showing a lot more in our keynote for what Empyrean is going to be.
Well, Stan getting filled with the suit, so what's the deal with that suit looking Necklace Prime? How do I get my Tenno arms into it?
I cannot say that on live television, but, there are ways. But yeah, you just have to watch with your Warframe account, your Twitch account. If you watch 30 minutes of our Tenno live show, you can get it, but hopefully you stay for the whole hour, because we got lots of time.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, and good luck with TennoCon on tonight. Thank you. Okay, now we've seen some amazing stuff today. Nothing quite so gloriously strange as our next game. Developed by Brooklyn-based studio.
Okay, now they're announcing something as strange. Given the fact that they have Man-Eater already, I'm quite excited to see what they would consider strange. Ah yeah, it's this one. Okay. I mean, this is another very striking art style. Unlike anything I've seen so far. Look at this. Wow. Art style wise, this might be my highlight of E3 so far. This looks really intriguing. Genesis Noir. You're very surrealist at that. I'm gonna write that name down because that's like the one I want to forget least.
Genesis Noir, just beautiful stylish art. The next game we're going to take a look at is the twist on the stealth genre. It's called El Hijo, where you play as a 6-year-old trying to escape a monastery and find your mother using
Muddy.
toys.
Hashtag Muddy.
Let's take a look at this gorgeous spaghetti western inspired project from Studio Heavy Games.
And another flat shaded one. Or is it drawn actually? It's drawn. This art style actually looks a bit similar to the game we saw earlier about the time travel thingy. Although now this is flat shaded again. So the cutscenes are drawn and then the gameplay itself is like this flat shaded cartoony stealth game.
This looks cool.
It does, it does. Kinda reminds me of the stealth levels from Wind Waker a little bit. That's a goofy walking animation. El Hijo, I guess.
El Hijo, once again,
Hijo.
the trailer we just saw. For our final guest
I think that's Spanish for the boy.
It might be.
Sven Vinker, and from Dungeons and Dragons at Wizards of the Coast, the creative director of Dungeons and Dragons, Mike Merle, to talk about Baldur's Gate 3.
Another big one.
Now this was only just recently announced. How did this partnership?
They have a bit over 50 minutes to talk about Baldur's Gate. He already said that it's the last one.
Yeah, that was back in 2014, and I tried to convince them back then that they should give the Baldur's Gate 3 license. But we had a long chat about what the vision would be for the game, and then we kept on bumping into each other, and then suddenly in 2016 I get a phone call from Nathan Stewart, who's the head of Dungeons and Dragons. He said, "You need to come to Seattle right away, and we're gonna have dinner at a very shady restaurant." And he had this big stack of paper with him, and on it was Baldur's Gate 3, and in it was pretty much everything that we talked about. And he says, "I'm gonna present this to my board. Do you still want to do it?" Of course, I still want to do it. And then a couple of weeks later, we started negotiating, and here we are.
I mean, what does the Baldur's Gate franchise mean to you, Mike?
Oh, to me, it's the crown jewel of being the right? I mean,
The phrase crown jewel has been tainted recently. I wouldn't use it.
So it just means so much to us. Baldur's Gate, it's, you know, such fantastic storytelling, and it's so exciting to see it come to not only a new generation of gamers, but for the gamers who remember the 20 years it's been since the original, the first two in the series. So it's incredibly exciting, and for us it really is such an important part of the movie that goes as a whole.
And we got to see a trailer. Talk to me about some of the story elements, the world elements. What are things we're going to see in Baldur's Gate 3?
Well, we're only talking about what's in the trailer right now, but obviously you're going to go to the city, because you start in the city. You start outside of the city, actually. There's going to be mind players. They're very nasty.
See, it's a big one that they are talking about Baldur's Gate at all. But I would love gameplay, honestly. Because we've seen this trailer already.
I'm curious about some of the gameplay elements, because obviously, you know, there's just been a big resurgence of Dungeons and Dragons, tons of broadcasts on Twitch. I mean, how do you translate some of the insane things that players want to do into, you know, what has to be a structured computer?
So we started with Player Handbook, which is basically basic rule set.
Which Player Handbook?
5th edition.
Yeah.
And so we ported as much as we could to the video game. We looked at what works really well. We looked at the things that didn't work that well, because it is a video game and this was made for tabletop gaming.
and then we have to add things on top of it because if you play tabletop, you have a game master, and you say, well, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And then the
I
game
want to start a fight with a pigeon. He's like, okay, roll for dexterity.
Exactly, that's it. So we had to add systems to make that possible within the game. But we've gone very, very far.
Yeah, and can you give an example of like a crazy moment that a player might do that you could actually play out in the game?
Well, I could, let's say that again, do a fight, because you also can ask the question, I don't want to answer it. And I take the chair over there, I put it on fire, smash it on your head. Just as an example.
It's just an example, it's fine, we're just talking.
These are things that we have to put systems into the game for to do it, which are not necessarily going to be described inside the book.
Interesting. I mean, like, Mike, in terms of...
Best RPG of the last 10 years. Divinity Original Sin 2 for me, personally. I mean, Witcher 3 is also up there. But I think Divinity is a bit better, actually. But I just love how the initial votes all went towards Skyrim before everyone realized how terrible Skyrim actually was.
How they describe Baldur's Gate 3, it's looking promising.
Yeah, but I don't see anything going alongside it. They had it a couple of times during this, where they were talking about the game, they had gameplay running in the background. The fact that they don't do it here means they are not really telling me anything about the game that I couldn't already like muster after seeing the trailer once.
And we're going to talk in a moment about Baldur's Gate 3 release dates and whatnot. We have a second game that we want to talk about on a new technology known as pencil and paper. I understand that there is a tabletop prequel coming for Baldur's Gate. Exactly. So in Baldur's Gate,
That's why the D&D guy is out there.
So on September 17th, we're releasing our next tabletop campaign, Baldur's Gate: The Second Rebirth, and it is the next chapter in the Baldur's Gate saga, right? And it's a prequel to Baldur's Gate 3. So if you haven't played a Baldur's Gate game since Baldur's Gate 1 or 2, this is your chance to check out on the history for about 100 years since the events of Baldur's Gate 2. Yeah. So this will give you a chance to check in on the city, to see what's going on, its current state, who the movers and shakers are. And also feature a complete levels 1 to 13 campaign that takes you from the main streets of Baldur's Gate.
So they bring out the tabletop campaign to get you into the world, then they release the PC game on top of it, which is a cool way of doing it.
Well, I have to ask Sven, it's a question on a lot of people's minds. What can you talk to us about expected release time frames?
So people have been waiting for it for a long time.
Yeah.
We're going to have to wait a little bit more when it's ready. This is the game that we want to play, so we want to make sure it's really, really good. And then when that's the case, then we'll release it.
Well, I know a lot of
So I'm expecting some end of 2020 at earliest. But probably longer than that. And that was the last guest.
Goodbye, guys. Why are they leaving? Well, it's because the PC gaming show has officially concluded.
Cool, they actually made it in time this time.
Frankie Ward, come here, Frankie.
Hello. Well, thank you so much, Sean. Hasn't this audience been absolutely fantastic today?
Pandering!
Thank you so much for coming out to the 5th annual PC gaming show.
I have to say, like, the presentation was a bit dry again. Frankie was cringy as always, but she kind of made it less dry at the very least. They had some technical problems in here, like during the Borderlands stuff, that was just unfortunate, and then just cutting off the Terraria trailer seemed strange to me. Art style wise, we had a lot of cool stuff here as well. Genesis Noir is my standout when it comes to art styles.
Well, I do love a baby elephant, so definitely Planet Zoo is slightly more awkwardly, then I also want to eat things. Maybe elephants included, so man-eater, of course.
I'm personally looking forward to Songs of Conquest, and as you heard, there's games coming out all across.
So many games in here. Yeah. So many games in this. And definitely gonna have to watch this again.
Yeah, but for me, there was nothing that really stood out.
Yeah, that's just a problem with the PC gaming show in general. They have that every time. That's just a lack of standouts because of...
Last year there was... Yeah, last year there was Satisfactory for me that really caught me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm going to switch over to the intermission real quick. I definitely know what you mean, but I guess the problem that they have is just they move on from the game so quickly that it's hard for games to actually leave an impression. Okay, I'm pulling up the limited run stream now. They're starting in 10 minutes, so we have 10 minutes to talk about PC gaming. I'm going to say that while there were definitely not enough standouts, I mean, you do have something like Shenmue 3, which is a really big release. You have Baldur's Gate 3 there at the end, although they didn't really show anything about that, so it's hard to say how much that actually contributed to the show. It was just a big release. Songs of... what was that? Songs of something? That little strategy game with the pixel art style, that one looked great. Genesis Noir looked fantastic and really abstract, so I can't wait to find out what that one is about. So there's a lot of cool stuff that I would love to try out here. But I will definitely have to watch it again and actually write out the names of the games, because keeping all those names in, especially with like 4 more conferences to go today, will be a challenge. Man-Eater looks fun. But I mean, I knew that that's one I want to try out since last year, so it wasn't something new. The zoo game looks cute. Might give that one a shot. There were 2 games about building something on Mars. There was this Paradox strategy game that looks great. New Chivalry. There was a lot of cool stuff there. Definitely a lot of cool stuff. But again, keeping all of those names in mind while having so many conferences to go today will be an issue. So my immediate gut feeling is probably a B-, but I might have to downgrade that to a C+ later, although that would put them on the same level as Bethesda for me. And I think that Bethesda was a bit worse. So I might leave them at a B-.